Okay, y'all. So Game of Thrones season 3, episode 1. So let's talk about Jon Snow first. So Jon Snow is beyond the wall. He's being held captive. He just had, murked his another member of the Night's Watch or whatever the case may be, and he's being sent to Mance Rayder. So he gets to Mance Rayder, who's supposed to be the king over the wall. They let him know that he murked his friend and that he's Ned Stark's bastard son or whatever. So basically, he trying to like gain that trust or whatever, so he become one of the wildlings. Now I don't know if what the initial thing was, but I think the initial thing was to get Mance Rayder, but I think he gonna end up working with Mance Rayder because he's starting to like him, like he sees something in him, but he just don't know what it is. They like the same for real. So Sam is walking in the middle of the freezing snow. Okay, nobody is there, so he walks up. He see one of his members of the Night's Watch with his head chopped off or whatever. And then it's another White Walker that's walking up behind him. So he end up falling before the White Walker grab him, and then the whole army of what I say, the whole army of the black or whatever, they come or whatever, and they get the White Walker and burn him. So they burned the White Walker, and then they was like, then the commander was like, we have to go and warn everybody and let everybody know what's beyond the wall so they can be, save the White Walkers is coming or whatever. So Tyrion, okay, is in King's Landing. He's recovering from his scar or whatever the case may be. Now, he's recovering from his scar, and his sister comes in to talk to him, and she's trying to figure out like what you want to talk to our father for, why you want to talk to our father. She just coming to taunt him and this and the third, blah blah blah. Sorry. So then Tyrion talks to Bronn and Podrick, and he's like, I need y'all around me all the time, especially Bronn. And Bronn was like, oh, well, you're going to have to pay me double the money then, or whatever the case may be. So he paying Bronn to be his protector because his father sent all of his guards back to wherever they came from. So he don't got nobody to really protect him for real. So he goes to have a conversation with his father, and his father, he was basically telling his father, like, I want honors for, helping with the Blackwater Bay. He was like, I led the attack and everything. Like, I basically was holding shit down, or whatever the case may be, and I don't get no recognition. And his father was, and he wanted Castle Rock, which is their family, the Lannister family castle or whatever. And the father was like, oh, hell no, I'm not giving you Castle Rock. You're not going to be the heir of my Castle Rock, or whatever the case may be. Like, and Tyrion was like, what's all that about? Like, why can't I get that? And he was like, his father really hates Tyrion. Like, and he said because he had his mother, the mother died at childbirth. So his wife died at childbirth having Tyrion. And then he said because Tyrion came out looking the way that he looked. And then he talked about he always sleeping around with different women and this and the third. So he don't really like Tyrion like that. Like his father is so hateful. And then his father going to tell him and that's Tywin Lannister. His father gonna say, and if I catch any more whores in your bed, I'm gonna off him. Like you a whole hater. Like why he can't handle nobody? For real, for real. You feel me? Like let that man have his fun. He ain't married to nobody. So Sansa is with the handmaiden, Tyrion's, real girl or whatever the case may be, but they don't know she posing as Sansa handmaiden or whatever. So her and Shay out there talking and chit chatting or whatever the case may be, and Shay, and then Littlefinger comes out there to talk to Sansa or whatever. So he's basically telling Sansa was like she ready to go home. She trying to get the fuck up out of there, and asked Littlefinger to take him with her because he talking about he get ready to go on some type of excursion and he might be able to take her with her, but he was like you can't tell nobody or whatever the case may be. When it's time to go, and I'm saying I'm ready to go, you need to be ready to get the fuck up out of there because we moving fast, pretty much. Now, Daenerys is on her way to find an army. She needs an army so that she can go and get her kingdom back or whatever in King's Landing. So she meets up with the person who is in control of the Unsolid or whatever the case may be. And she finds out that the Unsolid is like some real warriors. Like they ain't scared of nothing, but they do be murking babies, which is crazy to prove that they not soft or whatever the case may be. but somebody tried to murk her at at the place like a little girl or whatever. I think that she was like concealing herself or something else or whatever the case may be, but just the enemy of her is real. And then the captain of the King's Guard who served for Robert Baratheon, who who was loyal to Ned and all them, and that's the one that I can't remember his name, but he basically asked to be the member of her king's, of her king's guard, her queen's guard, or whatever the case may be. He was like, he was supposed to have served her family because he did serve her father, the Mad King Aerys the second, but things went south or whatever the case may be. He ended up serving Robert, who became the next king. But he's supposed to be like one of the greatest fighters in Westeros, other than the Hound, the Mountain, and Jaime Lannister. Okay. So then, what else happened in this one? So that was what happened in there. So she trying to buy 8,000 Asalids, okay, her army. And then, so not Ned, but Catherine and Rob Stark, they are walking, back towards the north or whatever, because it ain't no more fighting that they have to do. And they come across, one of that northernest town or whatever, and the town is burnt up, and everybody is gone, and there was only one survivor. But Rob is still treating his mother like she a prisoner, and his new wife was basically telling her like, that's your mother. You don't need to be treating her like that. But he was like, look, she let Jaime go, so I don't got time to hear what y'all got to say. She robbing people of their freaking revenge for real. And then, let me see, Sadavos is alive. So basically, Sadavos survived the Blackwater Bay, the battle or whatever the case may be, because he had got blowed up and thrown in the water somewhere. But the captain that sold Stannis the ships, went and rescued him from off the shore or whatever. And then he was basically like telling him to run down what was going on after the battle. So Davos was like, oh, well, I gotta go talk to Stannis because I can bring him, get him to be motivated again, yada yada yada. And he was like, no, you don't want to go talk to him because he got that witchy girl all in his ear, and if you go there, they're gonna end up offing you for real. So Davos goes there. He tells Stannis, like, you can still be the king, you can still do this, trying to, boost his confidence and stuff. And then Melisandre, she like, oh, well, I could have saved all those people, but you told him not to have me come. You had me stay here. We could have won that war, but you told him to leave me behind. And he was like, well, you an enemy of mine, yada, yada, yada. So he started popping his shit with her. And basically, Stannis is so into this motherfucking lady. This lady got Stannis so fucking fucked up in the head that he sends Sir Davos to the freaking dungeons. Like, why would you do that to your man, for real? He was literally your freaking hand, and you sent him to the dungeons. Like, bro. And then we have Marjorie. So Marjorie is gaining, respect with the people and everything like that, even with Joffrey or whatever the case may be. And Cersei don't like that shit. Like, she looking at Marjorie like she a threat and all this and that. So she don't like the fact that, you know, she having all this influence over her son, and her son is so googly eyed over Marjorie, pretty much. So that's pretty much all the shit that was going on in the episode. So yeah, tell me what y'all thought about it. Drop your comments, and I'll see you in the next one.